Hi everyone, my name is Elly and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming a catch-up Q&A video because I haven't done one in a hot minute and I think it was well overdue. But also, since my latest Q&A, so many people have joined our little YouTube family, so I thought I would give them a proper introduction to my channel, and also I thought it was well timed that we caught up on things. So yeah, go grab your favorite hot beverage of choice. I have my coffee here, so we can enjoy a little coffee talk together and catch up. If you peeps have watched my previous video, you'll probably know that I've just come out of COVID, and whilst I was ill, sick, at home, in isolation, in my room for almost 10 days, I asked you beautiful people on Instagram if you had any random questions for me, and you delivered, so I'm going to be addressing those questions today. However, I did receive a lot of questions regarding COVID and how I felt in that period, and I'm not gonna address them now because I feel like I've spoken about it so much in my COVID vlog. So yeah, if you want to know about that, I will pop a link in the description box below so you can check it out after watching this video, or if it's easier for you, I'll just pop it right up here on the screen. How tall are you? I am 5'7". How old are you? I am 35 years old. Where from Italy are you from? I'm from Rome. How did you learn English so well since it's your second language? I was actually super lucky that my parents put me into an international school since the age of 2. I went to an English school for nursery, kindergarten, and all of my primary school. I then went to an Italian school for middle school and to a European school for high school. So I took some subjects in English, some in Italian, and some in French. And after my university, like my bachelor, my postgraduate diploma, and my master's degree are all in British universities. So yeah, like the majority of my schooling has been in English. So I guess that's what helped. What is your MA in? So I'm currently undergoing a master's in dance technique pedagogy at Middlesex University, London. Favorite book you have ever read? This one is hard because I don't think I can pick just one. Like if I had to pick just one, which is what you're asking, I would probably say 1984 by George Orwell. I feel like that is the book that, at least in my adult life, has had the biggest impact on me. But still, there are many other books that in different periods of my life I would have said were my favorite books. I read this book when I was like 13 in middle school, and it was called L'amico ritrovato, but I think the English name is Reunion by Fred Ullman. I absolutely loved this book. It's about true friendship, and I think it shaped a lot of my values reading this book, and still to this date, like I value friendship like one of the most important things in my life, and I think this book had a really super big impact on me. So that was for sure, like in my first 13 years of my life, my favorite book. A couple of years ago I read and recommended to everyone The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, so that is another book that I would definitely consider a fundamental book in my life. And then I love, that's a completely different genre, Chocolat by Joanne Harris. I read it when I was around 18 and I just loved it. Like I always had a passion for baking, but after reading that book I was just like so drawn and fascinated by it, and I wanted to learn everything about chocolate and baking and the alchemic side of food, and I just love the atmosphere of Joanne Harris's books. That's not the only book from her that I read, but that one is definitely my favorite of hers. So yeah, I would say these 4 books in very different ways have shaped a lot of who I am today, my values, and yeah, I would say that. Is there any specific reason why you started a YouTube channel? I don't know if there's any specific reason, but what I can tell you is that I have been wanting to start a YouTube channel for years before I actually found the guts to start a YouTube channel. I always loved this creative aspect in blogs and in YouTube channels of sharing things, discoveries, and also like the diary aspect of it. Like that's why I decided to call my YouTube channel Elly's Diary, because I thought I would just start making videos to share, but also to save memories about my life as a professional dancer, now as a college student, and like my travels. And I'm so happy and grateful that I finally found the courage to do that, because like I don't know where my YouTube channel is gonna go. Maybe nowhere, maybe it's gonna blow up, I don't know. But the point is, already in these 3 years of doing YouTube, I have so much material, so many videos that I can look back to and just have a jump down memory lane, see again in motion, in action, like my colleagues that are now spread all over the world. Because that's the thing as a dancer, like dancers travel a lot, they move a lot, they change companies a lot. In a way, I've had moments in which I regretted not starting before, like when I was studying in London at Wasnt. I would love to have started documenting my life back then. I don't know if I was ready to do that before, like in high school. I don't think I was ready for that. But yeah, like I just wished I started earlier, because even if at the moment I'm still not monetized, I'm just starting out in a way here on YouTube, and YouTube is not easy. Like sometimes you watch these big YouTubers and you think like, oh, I can do that, it's easy, I'm gonna be monetized in 3 months, it's fine. But actually it's very, very hard to reach a wide, big audience. But I love doing it for myself, and I think that is why I started. And of course, like I'm not gonna deny, there is a part of me that does hope that I can grow my channel to monetize it and maybe make a little side hustle out of it, and like a little part-time job that I can save some money through it. But I'm nowhere close to that yet, and it was never for me like something that I would start so that I would drop my job and just be a full-time YouTuber. Like it's always been something that I've seen as a side thing. And yeah, I mean, in a way, I still hope to get there one day, to just have a little bit of money that I can make out of YouTube and save that money. What would you be if you weren't a dancer? Okay, this one is an interesting one. Like, I don't know what I would be if I weren't a dancer, because I have basically only worked as a dancer, like full-time. My full-time job has always been dancing as a professional dancer. But yeah, like before that, I have been doing a little bit of modeling, but I don't think I would ever have made it as a full-time professional model. I'm just not that tall, and also I feel like I don't have the edgy look that is required now in the modeling industry, but especially the height. I don't think I'm tall enough. Like honestly, I think you have to be at least 5'9". Like they do say that you can model from 5'7", but like when I was going to castings, like I could see I was always like the smallest girl in the group. So yeah, in a way, I think I would be an actress. I know this is so random to say, but so the truth is that growing up, I always wanted to be an actress. Like even in my essays in school, like when I was a kid, that we had to write, what do you want to be when you're a grown up? Like for me, it was always acting, acting, acting. I trained all like my middle school years and my high school years to become an actress. Like that is also how I started dancing, because I knew that to enter an acting school you had to pass a dance exam. So everything in my life revolved around wanting to enter like an acting degree. Like that was my goal. So this is something I have never shared here on my YouTube channel, but it's the truth. Whilst I was in my first year at Wasnt, I wasn't like super convinced that dancing was my path. And one day I was invited to a casting for an Italian television series called Un medico in famiglia, which is a doctor in the family. Let's say that's the translation. And I auditioned for a role and I got in. It was like an upper class girl with a passion for horse riding, and like in the episode I auditioned for, I was horse riding in my parents' villa, and then I fell from the horse, and then one of the kids from the main family saw me there, saved me, and I had a massive crush on him. And yeah, I don't know how the series would have proceeded, but I auditioned for it and I got the job and I was so excited. But 2 weeks before I had to go there and film, I got ran into by a bicycle. I fell, I bumped my head and I got concussion. So the doctors told me that there was no way that I could go horseback riding with a concussion. So unfortunately, I couldn't be part of the series, and yeah, took some time off to heal from my concussion and then got back into school and gave my all focus completely on becoming a dancer, and I've never looked back. Do you have any YouTube goals for 2022? So in a way, yes and no. Like, of course, I think like everyone that starts a YouTube channel will love to get to monetizing my channel, and hopefully I will do that by the end of this year. However, according to Social Blade, I will only arrive to 1,000 followers in April 2023. So maybe I'm not gonna reach that goal this year, but next year, and that is totally fine. I am almost there at the 4,000 hours though, so yeah, I just need to get to 1,000 subs and then I can be accepted on the YouTube, how's it called? Partner program. So if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please, please, please help me out with my goals and click on the subscribe button. That would be amazing. Thank you so much. How do you stay productive? Ooh. Triggering question. So I stay productive because at the moment I don't have an alternative to staying productive. Like, I take full responsibility about this, but my life is packed. Between working a full-time job, taking care of recovering from my injury, which means going to physio at least 2 or 3 times a week and going to the gym at least 2 or 3 times a week, teaching yoga and contemporary dance, and having a YouTube channel, plus being a part-time student on a master's degree. It's a lot, and I have a lot of deadlines that either the school is putting on me or I'm putting on myself with YouTube, and staying on track of a schedule is the only way I can stay productive. However, I don't think one should overpush themselves. I don't believe in that. I'm doing that to myself, but I don't encourage other people to do that. Like, I have reasons for doing everything that I do, and they all bring me joy. Like, I love my job, I love having a YouTube channel, I love studying, I love teaching, and I love taking care of myself. It's just that altogether it's a lot. But I have my finals on the 6th of May, and so after that I'm gonna take at least until the end of May off from, I mean, I can't take it off from work or from teaching or from physio. I mean, from YouTube I don't want to, but I can take 1 month off from studying, and that's gonna be a big relief for me. A very big relief for me. Oh, I forgot, I also studied German. So how do I stay productive? I don't have an option, but pace yourself. Like, don't overdo it, because it doesn't bring you anything to do too much. Like, I'm really understanding that. And although I can justify reasons for everything that I do, and at the moment, like, I'm in no position for dropping anything, like, I want to keep doing everything that I do, it's my choice. I do get overwhelmed at times, and I'm not 100% convinced it is the best choice always to do more and more and more and more. I think rest, time off, fun time, and sleep are very important things that a society based on hustle culture often oversees. and I think one should not do that. I think they are truly important things to be able to balance work and recovery time. Yeah. How did you meet your boyfriend? Actually, how did you and your boyfriend meet? So we met 11 years ago, in 2011, back in 2011, oh my god, at an event in London. I was studying in England and he was working there, and we met at an event in a club in London Bridge. I don't remember the name. Was it called Shunt? One of my friends from Laban was dancing. She was a girl in the year above me, also from Rome. We had friends in common. She was performing there, and she was, okay, this is complex, the girlfriend of the twin of my boyfriend's roommate at university. Yeah. So we were all there and we had friends in common, and I met him at this event where my friend was dancing. So yeah, very, very random and casual and spontaneous, and neither of us really were planning on going there because, I don't know, I remember I had a lot to study and he was also busy with things, and at the end, like, our friends convinced us to go, and that's how we met. Would you ever cut your hair? I don't know how to answer that because I want to say yes, 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 but I never have the guts to cut my hair. You know what cut I love, which I would never be brave enough to do, is like a pixie cut with, like, dye my hair platinum blonde and then dye it baby pink on top. I love that look. But realistically, I know I would never be brave enough to do that because I don't know if it would suit my face, but I absolutely love that look. So if I ever had the courage to do that, that's what I would love to get. What's your motivation to eat clean? So first of all, I would not want to give the impression that I eat clean 100% of the time, because I don't. But I would say that I do eat clean like 80–85% of the time, and I don't feel like I need a motivation as in something to push me to do that. I genuinely like food that is on the healthier side. I am from Italy, and in Italy I grew up in a family in which we would always have on the table fresh homemade cooked food, and yeah, I'm just not used to eating pre-made, pre-packed, pre-cooked food or junk food. Like, that is not how I grew up, and so actually for me it's just a habit I grew up with, so I don't even have to think of it as a motivation. And also, like, there are some periods when I'm so overwhelmed by everything that I do eat like frozen ready-made meals. I will admit that, but I don't feel as good in that moment. Like, for me, I feel at my best when I have a meal that has carbs, veggies and protein. I need to make sure that I'm eating a balanced meal on my plate, because that is when I thrive, when I feel at my best. And especially now during COVID, to recover faster, I was super careful that I was eating all of these things in each meal. Yeah. What's an insecurity you overcame? I think one of the biggest insecurities I overcame was actually being brave enough to start a YouTube channel. Like, I was so terrified of all the judgments I would receive from, I don't know, my family, my friends, my colleagues, my bosses, everyone. Like, I thought everyone would judge me for it, but actually everyone has been super supportive, which is incredible. Like, I wasn't anticipating that at all. But in my head, I feared I would be judged, and I think that's why it also took me so long to actually start my YouTube channel, because I was terrified of the backlash I would get. And it actually got to a point that I'm like, why should I hide it? Like, I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm not doing anything that I should be embarrassed about. So yeah, like, I'm owning it, and I'm very proud of myself for that, like, to be able to let go of my fears and insecurities. And actually the other day I was having a supervision session with my supervisor, and I had my Elly's Diary sweater, and he asked me about it, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what do I do now? And then I was like, I'm just gonna tell him the truth. And I said, yeah, like, I have a YouTube channel and it's called Elly's Diary if you want to check it out. And he actually did check it out and he subscribed to my channel, so that was cool. Although I was so scared because like the latest video I had posted when that happened was my live reaction to my first essay at university. And I don't know if he's checked that out. I don't know if he's checking out this video. Shout out to you. And I was like so scared of being judged even then, but then I was like, I am not saying anything bad or wrong. Like the only thing I said that I could be embarrassed about was like, I wish I could have gotten a distinction grade, and I'll try my best to improve my grade to get there and work at things. And I don't think I should be embarrassed of wanting to better myself. So yeah, being able to let go of the fear of judgment on YouTube is probably one of my biggest insecurities that I am proud of overcoming. What is your favorite movie? So again, like for the books, it's so hard for me to pinpoint one. Also, some of them I've watched in Italian, so I have to check the names in English. Hold on a second. Again, I can't pick one, so I'm gonna tell you some of my favorite movies in different phases of my life. So when I was a little kid, I was not dancing, I was actually doing gymnastics, and I wanted to become a gymnast, and my goal at the time was to get into the national team and to go to the Olympics, which I never did, never happened. But there was this movie, which I've just read now, that was from the 1990s, that I think I've watched 100 times because it was so motivating to me and so inspiring. And it was called, in Italian, La piccola campionessa. In English, I just found out it was called Reach for the Sky. And yeah, it follows the story of the Romanian Olympic gymnastics team. Like, not, it's inspired by that. Like, it's not actually anyone's life specifically, but yeah, it was like their journey to the Olympics, and I just found it so motivating and inspiring. I remember there was this scene in which this girl runs, does a cartwheel, then jumps and catches a falling fall leaf in her hand, and then she opens it and she sees a golden medal instead of the leaf. And I remember like imitating that scene and doing it so many times. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it was very, very, very motivating. I wouldn't say it's my favorite movie now, but it was definitely my favorite movie at the time. Another movie that was like my favorite movie, I was obsessed with at the time, was Titanic. When it came out, I loved it. I remember like even on the news, people were talking about people obsessed with it and how many times someone went to the movies to watch it. I think a girl in Italy watched it like 111 times or something. I think I just went 3 times. But then like I had the deluxe box at home and I kept watching it and all the pictures, and I fell madly in love with Leonardo DiCaprio, but I didn't want to admit that to my friends because I didn't like the fact that everyone else was in love with him. I wanted it to be a special thing. So I loved Moulin Rouge. I loved it. Like, that is a movie that got me closer to performing arts, singing and dancing and acting. Like, I liked this aspect of triple threat artist. And yeah, I think actually at the time I also started taking some singing lessons, which went nowhere. I can't sing, so don't ask me to try, but I was really impressed by the concept of an artist that could dance, sing and act. So yeah, Moulin Rouge, I loved it. I loved the soundtrack. I think I listened to the soundtrack, I don't know, for 4 years every day of my life. I knew all the lyrics by heart. Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. And more recent movies that I watched, I would say I fell in love with Bohemian Rhapsody. I was just so touched by it. I loved it. Like, I think it's the last movie I watched at the cinema that I left and I was like, wow. Do you have any tattoos? Nope. I don't have any tattoos. I do have 7 piercings though. I have 4 on this side and 3 on this. Which doesn't really answer your question because you asked about tattoos. But yeah, no, I don't have any tattoos. What is your workout routine? Do I have a routine? Well, I can tell you how I train, what I do during the day when I'm healthy, not when I'm stuck at home with COVID. So I normally wake up and I give myself a 40-45 minute yoga class. On Tuesday mornings I also teach yoga for 40-45 minutes, but like that's not every day. So I warm up, I give myself a yoga class, I go to work, I have an hour and a half of either ballet or contemporary, and then rehearsing for 7 hours a day. So yeah, I don't know if you can consider that my workout routine. And on top of that, I go to the physio an average of 2 times a week, and when I go to the physio after my session, I stay at my physio's gym and I train there at the gym for another 45 minutes twice a week. So I would say that is my workout routine at the moment. What is your favorite thing about living in Germany? So, without a doubt, I would say that my favorite thing about living in Germany is the space and dignity German gives to theater artists. And by theater artists, I mean everyone working in the theater, so dancers, actors, singers, and musicians. Like in Italy, there's a big culture of theater, but unfortunately, there is not so much funding that is put into the theaters in Italy. So yeah, there are not so many positions, fixed positions, whilst in Germany, basically every single city has a city or a state theater and has full-time employees, which are artists, and I appreciate that so much about Germany. And for me, that is the biggest plus of living in Germany, and that is the reason why I moved to Germany. And I'm so grateful that Germany is investing so much money in the arts. You seem to balance so much stuff at once. Do you ever feel like it's too much? Yeah, I feel like I have already answered that question, but yeah, like I'm a Virgo. I can make a very strict plan and follow through with it no matter what. But I do think that I'm hitting my, like, the breaking point. I don't think I can put anything more on top of that. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling at the moment about this. Favorite thing about yourself? It's hard to answer this question. What is my favorite thing about myself? I would say that my favorite thing about myself is that I don't give up. Like, in the face of difficulty and hardship, every time I fall, so far I managed to put myself together and find the strength to stand up again, face the struggle and overcome it. And that is probably the thing I like the most about myself to date. What are some of your favorite songs or artists? So I wouldn't say I have a favorite song, but my favorite artists at the moment are Imagine Dragons and Ed Sheeran. Old school YouTube question. What's in your bag? Actually, I have done a full video on it. So if you want to check out what is in my dance bag, you can check it out in this video over here. Or I will also put it down in the description box below if you want to check that out after this video. Yeah, stay until the end of this video. Let's enjoy a chat and then you can go check out that video there. But there is a lot. There is a lot in my dance bag. Tips for getting into a sustainable workout routine. So I get this question a lot. I feel like I've already answered this also in some of my previous Q&As, and my advice is always this: try not to overdo it at first. Like, when we decide to start working out, most of us will tend to be super motivated and try to put so much on our plate, which we'll manage for maybe the first week, the first 2 weeks, sometimes even the first 3 weeks, but after it gets too much and the minute we realize we can't keep up with it, we just give up altogether, and that is really counterproductive in a way. So I would say start slow. Don't try to do too much at the beginning. It's always better to build up if you feel like you are motivated to do more and you have time to do more. But if you go the other way around, I've noticed in general for myself and for other people, it's not sustainable, and then people just drop it altogether. So the advice is basically pace yourself, start slowly and build up as it goes. Hey, how do you find the motivation to eat healthy every day? So I feel like I've also answered this question already. Wait, I answered it already, did I? I feel my best when I'm eating healthy and like a balanced meal. And I was brought up eating that way, so I don't feel like something I'm imposing on myself. I just enjoy how I feel after eating healthy. Like, I feel full of energy, full of life, like ready to tackle whatever my day has in store for me. So yeah, I think it's the reward of feeling well that motivates me, probably. And also maybe the fact that I'm not obsessed with it. Like, if one day I want to eat some junk food, I'll eat it. I'm quite relaxed about my diet at the moment, for sure, but in general, like, I've never been obsessed with dieting, and I'm so grateful about that. Like, I feel like it's a privilege to have had such a healthy relationship with food, especially growing up in gymnastics, then in dance, modeling. Like, I don't underestimate what a gift it's been for me to have a balanced relationship with food, and also to have been brought up in a family where there was a balanced relationship with food and healthy meals were always on the table. So thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. What are your thoughts on marriage and kids? On marriage, I have one thought. I think that every consenting adult should have an equal right to get married if they wanted to get married. So that is my thought on marriage. As far as I personally go, I'm not thinking or planning on getting married. It was somehow more important to me when I was younger, but now I feel like I'm in a good, healthy relationship. I'm happy with what I have. Like, I don't feel the urge to get married at the moment, but I'm not against it. I'm not really thinking about it, to be honest. It's not like a main thought in my life. And as far as having kids go, I'm in a moment in my life in which I don't have any time for kids, but in the future I do hope to have a couple of kids. I would like that. It's not something that I am saying will never happen. Like, it's there. It's just not something that can happen anytime in the near future. But yeah, in the future I do think I want to have kids. Like, that is something I'm definitely thinking more than about marriage. Favorite TV shows? So I don't really have a TV, so I watch programs on the internet mostly. I have Wow Presents and I have Netflix. And my favorite TV program series is RuPaul's Drag Race. I am a super fan. I love it, I love it, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I watch everything. I watch What's Your Backing, I watch The Pit Stop, I watch, I mean, of course, the series, and I watch Untucked, and I watch a lot of YouTube channel like talking about Drag Race. So I'm obsessed. I love it. I follow all the queens on their YouTube channel. So that is my favorite TV show slash TV program at the moment. But besides that, I do have Netflix, and I don't know if I have like a favorite series, because I fall in love with every series I'm watching at the moment, and then I fall in love with the next. But I would definitely say that, I don't know, it's not my favorite. I thoroughly enjoyed watching Jane the Virgin. I just finished watching it last week, so that is one that is staying on my mind at the moment. I loved Dark, which is, I believe, a German Netflix series. Amazing. It's kind of like Stranger Things if you haven't watched it, but I think it's better. So yeah, Dark. And then I have so much fun watching Sex Education, especially the first season. Then it's, I don't know, I'm not enjoying it as much, but I do enjoy it. I have fun, and I think it's a great, brilliant series, and it was a very needed series. And then like my classic favorite series growing up were Friends. Maybe that's my favorite series. Gilmore Girls, Gossip Girl, and like, not in my childhood, but like in my adulthood, I've been loving The Big Bang Theory as well. So yeah, it's a mixture of many genres. But yeah, these are the names that come across to me now that I'm answering on the spot. Maybe I'm forgetting my very favorite series, but I don't know. Yeah. Best relationship advice. It's hard because I'm not like a relationship guru. But in general, I don't know what kind of relationship you're referring to here, if it's like a relationship with your parents, with your brothers and sisters, with your friends, best friends, boyfriend, girlfriends, partners. Talk. I think it's just one word, like talk. Open up about how you're feeling about things, like try to find a middle ground, a common ground. Share the happy moments, share the sad moments, share your emotions, share your day-to-day life, like share things with the people you care the most about, because I think that's the secret to any good relationship. And also make time for that person, like nourish your relationship with that person, cultivate it, make special moments, like not special moments as in like big things, but like treasure the small moments and learn to appreciate the small things you do together with that person or you share with that person. Yeah, I would say this is my relationship advice, what I've learned so far in my life, but there's still so much to learn on this, like so much to learn. Favorite restaurant takeout place. So I don't know if you want an answer of my specific favorite restaurant or in general the kind of food that I love to eat. I don't have one specific kind of food because I love every kind of food, but here where I am, my favorite restaurant is a Japanese fusion restaurant, and I love eating like the vegan crunchy rolls. They're amazing. And I love like summer rolls as a takeout. It's one of my favorite things. And sushi, I mean vegan sushi. I love in general, like Japanese fusion food is probably my favorite food to have. Okay, so that is it for today's chatty long Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and thank you so much for staying until the very end. Let me know if you have any other question for me. Just leave it down here in the comment section below and I will answer in my next Q&A. And yeah, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all in a future video. Bye!